We don't want everyone to like us, but we want everyone to know us. And it's knowing what we're doing. So if you're in a marketing strategy, you want everyone to see you. But if you're selling, you want to be talking to people that you can help.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Leadership Stack Podcast, the podcast for entrepreneurs by entrepreneurs to increase your leadership, teamwork, and profits. This is your host, Sean C., aka Mr. CEO at 22.
If you keep fighting, if you keep getting in the ring, if you keep getting punched, there's two things that's going to happen. You're going to end up covered in bruises, or you're going to learn to move better.
So you were able to experience what I would call as the peak or top of your game. Now, what I'm wondering is, what is the one discipline in your life you got there already? So before I move on to that question, I want to know, through all of these 15 years, you amassed so many experiences, so much wisdom in you. What are some of the best tactics, not strategies, but tactics that you carry with you in closing deals?
One of the big things I think with closing is, now this is strategically, but the reason we'll move forward from it. Knowing what you want out of something is one of the key things that people screw up. Too many people are, here's my water bottle, buy my water bottle, this is the best water bottle, blah, 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 I'm the best. And the reason behind this is, a lot of, especially if you're an entrepreneur, and entrepreneurs listening to this will relate, you spend a year building your product, your service, creating it, molding it, making this beautiful little thing. And as soon as you release it, you will expect the world to go, wow, thanks, that's amazing. I'll have 10. My kids will use those. My husband wants that. This should be in our office. We should have it on billboards, right? And it doesn't happen. The people go out to the market with the arrogance of, I put in effort, you should give me results. And it doesn't happen that way. So because people expect that, they don't go into selling things properly. They go into it. I had a friend message me the other day, and he's like, mate, I really want to jump. I really want a script. I know you're the man. Can you send me some over? I was like, no. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you want me to send them over? He went, well, yeah. He said, you've got loads. He said, I just want to look at them. He said, like, we're just starting off, blah, blah. And straight away, he started selling me on why he didn't want to pay for them. I'm not giving you them for free. I've spent 15 years learning this. And this is different. I became almost insulted because I'm like, there's a big difference. If you're like my family, it's a big difference. This guy is just a friend. Like, he's not family. We're not ride or die brothers. But we get on really well. But he's going to make a lot of money off this. Like, he's doing well anyway. He's took on a team. His team's going to make money. So then suddenly I'm like, no. If you want my stuff, one, pay for it, because I've put in the work. I'm not here to carry you. And secondly, if you don't pay for it, you will not implement it. If you don't, like, if I just give you something now, you're like, that's cool, but you won't use it. And this is why I think with a lot of stuff with education and the courses and mentoring, you should pay for that stuff. Because if you're at a stage when you go to sell something, or go to buy something, and you're sat on the fence about the money, that's because you don't know if you're going to use it. One, it might be you don't know if it's going to work. But it's also self-doubt. People don't buy a lot of the time because they won't use it, or they won't use it properly, or they won't use it consistently. And that's why I say to people, if you need to give me like £500 for it. Because if I was going to go and write that up, I would charge him more. Because you've got to think what these 4 guys would do with it. And what happens when he brings on another 5 guys? But he'll be able to use them for 10 years. So he's getting value for that. But if he hands over that money, when it arrives day one, he'll use it more. So when we're going into sales, we have to have this expectation. We can't go into things half-baked. And a lot of people do this. They go in to do the ta-da, like a magician. So first off, it goes into mindset. You've got to go in there with, this is a sales process. Even if you're meeting your mate for a coffee, you're either meeting him for a coffee or you're meeting there to be a sales professional. And if you're a sales professional, you need to have the doctor's mentality with this. Yes, you should smile. Yes, you should be happy. But you need to be a doctor with stuff. Don't go walk into your doctor's and he's got his music on. He's like, yes, what's happening, bruv? Nice to see you. Da, da, da. You don't care if it was your mate, if you're going to see your doctor, you're going for a reason. You want the professional. And your doctor will ask probing questions. Your doctor isn't there to make you happy. He's there to help. And with a lot of salespeople out there, we have to start with that. So now we're at the stage. We know our mindset's right. We've gone with knowing what we want out of it. Everyone's clear. Pre-qualification is everything. Absolutely everything. And the reason I say about the friendship thing before, I won't jump on a strategy call with someone unless I know what the call's about. And a lot of people don't like that. Oh, well, let's just jump on a call and let's have a chat. No, I value my time and I value yours. So I actually want to know, what are we talking about? Say if we were going to jump on a quick 20-minute call. I want to jump on a call and be like, right, bang, not hi, how's it going? How's the family? How's the kids? Like we said earlier, I want to be productive. Let's chat about that in the DM. And then you say to me, so imagine you're doing now with SEO and you message me and you're like, let's jump on a call. I'll ask a series of questions to pre-qualify. 1, to make sure I can help. 2, to make sure I want to work with you. And 3, to make sure that you're confident and going to turn up for the phone call. So having this pre-qualification, a friendly, informative chat, it doesn't have to be serious. You want to have direct questions. So I want to know, well, what are you working at the moment? So imagine if you message me, hey, Dave, can we jump on a strategy call about, I will need to close more deals. Cool. What are you doing at the moment? How are you selling them? What's the main struggles you've got? What are big goals you want to achieve in the next year that you haven't? What are you currently turning over? A question I ask a lot of time. Imagine I click my fingers now, I'm in the room with you right now, and you've got me for a day for free. What would you set me to work on to help you get more deals? Would it be objections? Would it be that? Why would that matter, right? Suddenly, if you won't answer those questions, you were after just some free tips. And I don't blame you. Fair play for the hustle. Fair play for the hustle, but you're trying to go around. Some people do that. Contact coaches trying to get a little bit of this, like phoning a chef up, trying to get a recipe of each one, and now you've got a cookbook. With that, it stops a lot of that. So then you're at the stage where I know that you're committed. I know you're open to it. This is before the strategy call. Now, this isn't saying you have to start with me. This isn't saying you have to commit to using my services. But there's a clear distinction between that and let's jump on a quick call. I can have a chat about my business. Because then when we're on a call, I know where you're at now, where you want to be. I know things that you've tried, things that haven't worked so far. No, just because you've done something before doesn't mean it doesn't work. Just means that you didn't do it right. So that gives me a clear idea. That means we can be effective on that call. But it also means, as a salesperson side, if I jump on a call with you and you're like, okay, I want to be able to take on 2 salespeople. I want them to do X amount of deals a month, blah, 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 blah. And I say to you at the end of it, okay, if I can do all of that and you like me and you decide that I'm a guy for you and you like the platform, what would hold us back getting started? Nothing. Okay, cool. Look at my calendar. Can I take someone on? Yes. Okay. So I've got time in my schedule. I've got the skills. Let's jump on the call. Let's go for it. And at the end of that call, it's clear that if I help you, we really should be starting business. You know that on that call. I know that. Rather than it being you getting a call and you being, oh, I just thought I was getting a few free tips. That screws my day up because as much as I want to help, and I do, I've got a goal to help 1,000 people this year. I also want to help 1,000 people properly through effective training. Not just, otherwise I could stand out in my local city centre shouting out tips. How to ask questions. Like some people would get help from that, right? But that's not effective. So we have to have a structure for what we do. So having your pre-qualification, I think that was about 8 questions I've given you then. Change those questions up. Then once you've got your questions, break them down into a clear order, but is a smooth transition. Because no one wants to be felt like no one wants to feel like they're completing a survey. So my chats are very informal on DMs. And they talk about mate and this and that. And it's very personable, but it's also getting clear answers. So if you say to me, yeah, well, I hate my prospects. All they do is mess me about and blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. What have you tried? Well, I've done this, but they always do that, and this happens. We'll start hearing a pattern. We start hearing the victim mentality from your side. I start knowing that actually you probably don't keep to your word with other people, and now you're getting messed around by other people because the world's a funny way like that. So it gives us a clear idea of where we are. So the pre-qualification is so vital because you want to know, one, is it a viable prospect? You want, two, to know the facts that you need to be able to help the person. And three, it also takes them down the path because you've taken out a lot of the potential objections from later. Because otherwise, it's very easy. People, oh, okay, cool, I'll come back to you in a month. But if in the pre-qualification we've said, well, actually, no, if it's good, I'll start in a week. Okay, well, when we spoke earlier, you said if it works, you want to start in a week. And if you don't like me, that's cool. If you don't like my services, that's fine. But saying I'll come back to you in a month, it goes against everything we've said. And like I said, this isn't to force people into it. I'm just a big believer. And I say to people, I just ask people to make a decision on the day. Because the facts that you have right now, imagine you're going to start my coaching. And you're like, okay, I'll come back to you in a month. I'm guessing you've got plans for the rest of today, right? I mean, you're not going to just meditate with your legs crossed thinking about me and my product. So when you're on the call, you as the prospect are in the optimum knowledge place. You're not going to gain more knowledge unless there's a specific. I want to do research with X. Okay, that's fine. And then you can go into that. Okay, so you like the service. You're like, yeah, Dave, I like the service. I like the coaching. Everything you said's great. I just want to go and check out Grant Cardone because I'm thinking about using him as well. Is there? I mean, then you can go through. Is there anything else apart from double checking on the right person that's going to hold us back doing business today? No. Cool. That's good, right? So you like the product, you like the price, you like the way it'll work, you think it'll be a good fit. Is there anything in there? No. That's great. So it's literally, you just don't know if it's me, Grant Cardone, or Jordan Belfort you want to use. Yeah, that's it. Cool. Good. And now we've got to the stage, but this is clear. So now the only hurdle we've got is, if this was true, what you said, is me, Grant Cardone, or Jordan Belfort. And this is easy now. Okay, cool. But what do you want? Do you want to tell your friends, I get trained by Jordan Belfort, or do you want a coach which isn't as high profile, which you can get direct access to? Because you're not actually getting trained by Jordan Belfort. You'll be on his group chat, you'll be on the live with him there, but you won't get the one-on-one with him. Do you see what I'm saying? Then it's easy to go through this. Now, at this point, you might turn around and be like, do you know what? Actually, no, I want to be in the 10X group. And that's cool. I'm not trying to sell everyone. I'm trying to find people that want my style with what I do. If you want to be with Grant Cardone, good luck to you with that. That's good. You're going to pay more money. You won't have Grant Cardone, but you'll get the live and you'll get the features. You can tell your friends about it. Or you'll get X, Y, Z, da, 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 da. Does that make sense? Now, this process, that process alone, we've been on the phone 15 minutes. Imagine with 5 months of that, what happens? Everything changes. It's more structured, more kind. Not machine sales, it's just direct. Knowing what to say and when.
That is an entire sales strategy that you've given there.
Like we said earlier, this is about, it's that combination, it's that blend. Dinner is not about the meat and the veg or the meat and the salad. It's about the dish. And this is about taking tactics, strategy, and application and putting it together, like in that conversation. Now, I've just given you 8 things to say, why to say it, and the process of where you go next. And that's what's missing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have the sat nav. They don't have the direction where to go next.
And pre-qualification is extremely important. So for those of you who are tuning in this podcast and you might be at that boat where I'm not making sales and I don't know what this next guy is doing, but he or she is making a lot. And I'm, when I just like David here, he mentioned that the guy that he sat on in wasn't doing any much difference, but was delivering way better. There is a part in the sales process that's extremely important, and that's pre-qualification. And David, you mentioned before we started recording that you can't please everyone. You can't make everyone like you.
Everyone's so eager to try and sell the world. But You have to know where your feet are. If you are trying to build a brand, yes, you're trying to get as many eyes on you as possible. 100%. But you're not trying to sell everyone. You want the people that don't like you to talk badly about you, right? Now, it's horrible to see hate. And I'm not saying go out and hate on people. But say if someone's listening to this now and they don't like my accent, and they go and tell, I was listening to that podcast earlier. I love that podcast, but they had this English guy in there, and his voice is so annoying. He's talking about sales and how to do this, and right? If they moan enough times to other people, that will drive more people to see listen to the podcast, and they might like me. It's free marketing. So we don't want everyone to like us, but we want everyone to know us, and it's knowing what we're doing. So if you're in a marketing strategy, you want everyone to see you. But if you're selling, you want to be talking to people that you can help, that want your product or need your product but don't even know it yet.
This episode is partnered up with Armoury.ph. Armoury is an online watch store and is the exclusive distributor of the brands TW Steel, Dion Milano, Fonderia, Luminox, and Mondane in the Philippines. Yes, folks, those are Italian watch brands. If you are looking to buy your next go-to luxurious everyday watch, go to armory.ph and enter the coupon code LS30. Armory.ph delivers straight to your doorstep with a security tape to make sure that your package is safe from theft, arrives on time, and is guaranteed working 100%. Go to armory.ph and buy your first luxury watch today.
You know the saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. But in this social media age, it's not just what you know, it's who you know, but it's who knows what you are doing or who knows what you know.